Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are at the All-Star break in the NBA regular season, and we're going to do a call right now with Doug Upzon, where we're going to think about possible trades upcoming with the NBA trade deadline approaching. Doug Upzon, thanks for being back with us.
Peter, I'm honored to be back here. I don't think we've ever, in all these years, ever talked about the NBA. So this is a little definite change of pace. I didn't think I'd see you to the baseball season, but here we are.
Yeah, well, we never talked about the NBA because you don't know one thing about the NBA, right? Or is that wrong?
That would be incorrect.
Oh, okay. I had no idea. All right. Well, I'm very happy to start talking about the NBA with you then, Doug Upzon. Interesting topic. We're going to be. I'm sorry?
Yeah. I said it might only be a week, but we're here today.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's an interesting topic. Of course, personnel, chemistry, and momentum is what the NBA is, what betting the NBA is all about day in and day out. So trades and anticipating how teams might respond to the trade deadline can be important to get a jump on possible line value. So what do you have for us today, Doug?
Yeah, well, I have a number of different teams, but the first two that come to mind are Atlanta, who has had a fantastic season, beyond anyone's expectations, entirely all year. If they do have a weakness, though, that we found is that they're 27th in rebounding so far this year. So one of the things that they might be looking to do or to find is to add a player whose really sole responsibility is to play some defense and hit the boards. Now, that they might choose not to do that because they've gotten this far, but I don't think it's a bad idea if they can make the right trade. And the reason that I say that is because when you get to the playoffs, a lot of times you get fewer possessions, and so all rebounds are that much more valuable in terms of how the contest plays out. Now, the other team is the Chicago Bulls, who right now are very much in danger of falling out of first place in the Central Division with the way Cleveland is playing and even the way Milwaukee is playing. And word on the street is that Taj Gibson can certainly be had in terms for the right deal, especially if it's a shooter involved. And with Mike Dunleavy's ankle being a little bit bulky at this time, they might be interested. But the coach, Tom Thibodeau, is not crazy about moving Gibson because he's a defensive-minded coach. And Paul Gasol, to this point, really has not done much for them on the defensive end of the floor, Peter.
All right. Well, I think my sense is that if Atlanta messes with their chemistry at all, maybe long-term it'll be good for the team, but short-term that probably has a negative effect on their, spread value. I mean, it couldn't get any better. It could only get worse. And I think if they make a trade, probably it gets a little bit worse. But we'll see. All right. What else do you have for us, Doug?
Yeah, another team is Golden State, who is actually, I mentioned the Bulls, I mentioned Atlanta, because they're the top betting play on team, and Golden State is third, and Golden State has the best record, the best record, but then also they're number one in scoring, they're number one in field goal percentage, and they're number one in defensive field goal percentage. But they have some interesting things they have to consider because David Lee, their forward, is owed $15.5 million next year, and they also have to agree to terms with Draymond Green. So I think that puts them in a little bit of predicament. Do they really want to mess with the chemistry? I wouldn't think they would, but they have to not only look at this year, but they also have to look towards the future. And the same goes with the Phoenix Suns, who last year were on the bubble in terms of getting to the playoffs. They're right back in the same position, and they're really lacking in defense, and they're 28th in points allowed. And Miles Plumlee is certainly available for the right trade with Phoenix because they're looking for a defensive-minded big man instead.
All right, yeah, well, maybe if Phoenix does that, maybe we'll look for an under trend for them in the second half. Okay, what else would you like to talk about with us today, Doug?
I got two more teams for you, Peter, and one of them is Portland, who's inquiring about Denver's Wilson Chandler as a potential get for them to go further into the playoffs than they did last year because Nicholas Batum has not played well. He's actually having career low numbers. The Clippers are another team also that's involved in here looking at Chandler, but they can't offer number one draft choice, which Portland certainly can, and I think that might be worth the risk. And the last team, Peter, is another team in the East that's having a very good season, which is Toronto. And their weakness, though, that we found out, and they've had a couple of good defensive games recently, but one thing that you can definitely tell when watching them play is they're weak at guard on defense, and teams are able to beat them off dribble penetration, and they are one of the worst teams in the NBA in allowing shots that are 5 feet or closer. So, again, if they could find a defensive guard, I think they might make a move on that.
All right, that's an interesting thought there, Doug Upzon. I think if Toronto did that, they might actually become a good bet at points in the second half. All right, thanks for your thoughts, Doug Upzon.
Thank you, Peter.